And I'm making a recipe from Made Whole, duh. So I'm gonna do the spinach Alfredo chicken bake, which is a super 3-ingredient recipe if you have the Alfredo sauce done. But we're gonna make that first, and let me show you how we're gonna make my delicious Alfredo. Alfredo sauce is made using cauliflower and just these simple ingredients. So I'm gonna steam some cauliflower florets, then blend it up with some coconut milk, fish sauce for that umami flavor, a little vinegar. I don't have red wine, so I'm using apple cider, some lard, some salt, some garlic. Because the sauce cooks so fast, because it's so simple, see, look at that beautiful casserole dish. I'm gonna start getting my oven ready for the Alfredo bake. So I'm gonna preheat to 400 degrees. Got my cauliflower and my garlic in here, and I'm gonna cover it and let this simmer there and steam for 8 minutes until everything's fork tender. Then we're gonna drain it and then throw the cauliflower and garlic in the blender with the rest of the sauce ingredients, and that's it. While the cauliflower and garlic for the sauce simmer, I'm gonna flip back to, look at me, I'm already getting my pages wet, to this, and what I'm gonna do is butterfly the chicken breast and drizzle it with avocado oil, salt and pepper, and bake for 50 to brown it. And then we add the sauce and the spinach and then keep baking it. And that way the chicken sears and doesn't boil in the sauce, because then it'll be rubbery and you don't want that. Also, butterflying the chicken in this kind of dish makes the cutlets like thin, because if you had a whole chicken breast in there, you'd have to like take out that big piece. I don't know, I just feel like it's cumbersome, if that makes sense. So anyways, I'm gonna do that now. Okay, so I've got my chicken breast all butterflied and salted and oiled. This is a little bit small, but I just got it today, so I want to use it. So it's a little bit crowded, but it'll be okay. Popping this in the oven for 15 minutes. Now I'm gonna drain this and make the sauce. Back to the sauce, I'm gonna put the coconut milk, butter, oh, not butter, I'm gonna use lard, bacon fat that I have rendered here. The fish sauce, the vinegar, salt and pepper into the blender, and then I'm gonna drain this. Turn off the heat. Okay, so we've got all of the ingredients in the blender, ready to go. And look at this creamy, silky deliciousness. And let me tell you, it tastes like the real thing. That fish sauce is my favorite magic trick. Okay, I've sat here, I've had like 3 more spoonfuls of this. I just can't get over how good it is. I hadn't actually made this, I don't know, in a few months because of the book tour and everything, and this is definitely one of my favorite recipes. You can throw this over any kind of noodle. We're done with the sauce, and now we're just gonna flip back over to the bake. Okay, so now that the chicken's browned, I'm gonna just throw a bunch of spinach on top of it and pour the sauce. So I don't have baby spinach, I'm using just regular spinach, which isn't as tender, so I'm going to use a little bit less, because this is definitely like, the flavor is more robust on regular spinach, and the texture as well.
Slide on the pimp gang with my pinky ring. Lot of gang, lot of.
And then we just smooth it out. So this takes about 2 cups of cauliflower Alfredo, although the batch makes just a little over that. So something, if you want to, you can just throw the whole thing in there. Why not? Now it's gonna go for 30 minutes. Ow, it's hot. Careful, don't forget that this is hot. And that's it. And now it cooks for 30 minutes, giving me plenty of time to clean up the kitchen. And you don't really need to make a side dish with it, because you've got the spinach, you've got the chicken, you've got the creamy sauce. If you want, it's really good over roasted veggies. And if you omit the black pepper, this dish is AIP compliant. It is keto. It is Whole30 compliant. It is all the things, dairy, nut, nightshade free, nut free. Absolutely delicious. You have my book. You're gonna want to make this recipe really soon. Let's again look at that beautiful thing. Page 194 for the bake recipe, and then page 86 for the Alfredo sauce, which is in the staples. And let me show you something. When you make anything in the staples section, right, like any of the sauces, because there's so many sauces here, right, mayos, the chimichurri, the marinara, the confit, the pistou, the toum, which is a really good egg-free mayo. There's a staples index in the back. So anytime you make any of the recipes in the staples chapter, then you go to the back and it's going to show you every recipe where this staple is used. Obviously, I use bone broth a lot. But so yeah, that way you know if you're going to make one of these sauces or whatever, you're going to use it in a bunch of other things. And if you know, the pie crust, the coconut yogurt, the fiesta guac, pickled onions, everything bacon, cauliflower Alfredo. While we're back here, I'm going to show you guys a few things. So each meal plan has a shopping list. The book is really big, and I think sometimes people don't even get to the back before they ask me questions about stuff, which is totally fine. But look, I have all my recommended brands here, stores. So there's a recipe index. So when you're searching for a recipe, there's pictures for all of them. So if you want to find a recipe in treats or in any chapter, you can look what it looks like, which is pretty genius. And look, the big allergen index. The allergen index is like 3 pages long. And so we have AIP, egg-free, coconut-free, and seed-free. The whole book is nut-free, nightshade-free, and dairy-free. When butter and ghee are present, they are always optional, so no need to add those. And then each recipe also has more information on like how many egg-free recipes or how many AIP recipes. There is a blog post on my blog. All about Made Whole, and it has all those statistics, all those numbers for you guys, and details about what's inside the book. Okay, so stay tuned. We have about 20 more minutes, and our chicken Alfredo spinach bake is out of the oven. I can't wait to show you guys, and I can't wait for dinner. It's yum.